right, hello everyone. How you guys doing today? All right. All right, we'll get started in just a couple of minutes. I'm just gonna get some feedback on how the audio, how the overlays looking, all that stuff, and then we'll get started. Really excited to hit triple digits today. Finally get to at least 100 chapters. Feel like I've made some progress at least. 2,600 chapters, so like 4% really. But hey, you know, it's still decent. Hey, Kami, how you doing? All right. I think the audio should be okay today, but in fairness, I think I say that every day, so you know, we'll see how it is. You know. All right. I'm wondering to see if the chat pops up as it should. If not, we'll figure out what I'm missing. Hey guys, nice to see you guys. Ah, for fuck's sakes. Bad day. Hey, Light. Nice to see you. Milos, Romero, nice to have you guys. All right. I think, let me know, how's the audio looking? How's the overlay looking? I don't know why my chat is not popping up. It should be, and yet it's not. Why do you do this? Oh, trust me, I get it. I used to drink a lot of Coke when I was younger, Romero. I've now lowered my content to no more than 1 can a day, which is still too much, mind you. But I get it. What is too much for you, Romero? All right. The audio and video are both good. Oh, that's good. By the way, I didn't realize this until yesterday when I was messing around with all this stuff. Have you guys been watching in 720p? Because I realized it wasn't streaming in 1080. I did not know that. That was wild. I think it should go all the way up to 1440 now, I think. The chat's not popping up. Yeah. Okay, give me 2 seconds. Let me see if I can have it pull up a different way really quickly. It should be this one. It might have been, maybe I was just doing something wrong, Romero, but I remember watching it and I couldn't get it to be in 1080p. I always found it to be in what do you call it? I always found it in 720, which was really odd. All right, I think that should allow me to do it. Give me 2 seconds. It's still not popping. It's popping up here, but not there. Interesting. Oh, for fuck's sakes, it's still not popping up. Username, nice to have you. Okay, why is chat not popping up? I have no fucking idea. Oh, come on, you fix one thing. But the new Wuthering Waves. If you want, I can check it out after. I remember like downloading it right when it first came out way back when. And it just reminded me so much of, oh fuck, I can't remember the other game. There was another game that I thought was very similar a while back. And I didn't end up reading too much of it, but, playing too much of it, but, I don't mind. I can check it out, yeah. If you say it's good, I don't mind. I mean, plus, good thing is with a gacha game, when you're first starting out, it's really easy to get new characters if there's good ones out or whatever. So, because, you know, you don't have any shortage of runes or whatever the summoning material is, right? So, I can check it out. Okay. You know, I'm sorry about the chat, guys. I will figure that out. I don't know. You can talk about Monster Hunter, Milos. Who's stopping you? Okay, you know what? I don't know. You guys are just gonna... You guys might just have to do without chat popping up for the day. Oh, no. It should be there now, I think. I don't know what I did, but it did something. Okay. It should be there now. Okay. Let me know if that pops up. It'll... Yeah, I think it should be there now. Okay. And I came to realize there's about a 20-second Ramiro stopping me. Okay. Don't listen to him. You're both mods. You can do whatever you want. Plus, it's good to have two mods that disagree with each other. It keeps a good balance, you know? It's just they're cut off on sides. Cut off on sides? I can make it, as I make it wider and wider, the problem becomes, oh, for fuck's sakes, don't tell me you got rid of it again. I'm gonna lose my mind. Okay, this is it. If this doesn't work, I don't know. Hey, devil. Okay. You know what? I know it's a little off-centered, but I think that is... No, that's gonna bother me. Alright, hold on. Okay. Alright. You know what? It'll have to do, I think, for now. Okay, I gotta get started. Okay, chapter 86, prayer. Wait, 86? What the fuck? We're on 96. Hold on. Yes, chapter 96, Daly's Guess. By the afternoon of the next day, Klein had fully recovered from any sign of exhaustion. He walked into the Blackthorn Security Company with steady footsteps. Good morning, Klein. Oh, no, wait, this should be better still. Good morning, Klein. The weather is so cool and beautiful today. I'm looking forward to tonight's feast. Roseanne, who was wearing a light green dress, greeted him with a smile from behind the reception desk. Klein deliberately touched his stomach and said, Miss Roseanne, you shouldn't be talking about that so early in the morning. I'm already sick of today's mission that has yet to arrive. I only hope for the evening to arrive sooner. Me too, Roseanne chuckled. She looked to the left and right. She then beckoned for Klein to come closer. She lowered her voice and said, I met Madame Daly today. Spirit medium, Madame Daly? Klein asked in surprise. The most famous spirit medium from our county has been living in Enmat Harbor all this time, and it wasn't a short distance from Tingen. Just finished modding Cyberpunk. Ooh, Cyberpunk is a dope. I love that game so much. After about a year of it being out, the first year was horrible, but yeah, it was a fantastic game. And Cyberpunk Edge Runners, like one of my favorite animes. I love that so much. Yes, Roseanne gave a firm nod and said, but she already left. She's my ideal beyonder. If I were to become a spirit medium, I would leave Tingen and travel all around the world by myself. To Intis, to Faceac, to Faina Potter, to the southern continent, to the vast prairies, primitive forests, and snow-covered plains. Lady, be aware of Nighthawk rules. Klein shook his head in amusement because Nighthawks have to get permission to leave wherever they're stationed from, right? I'm still scared to mod WoW 2 if my account... Oh, oh, that's a good point, yeah. With it being online, I wouldn't mess too much with it. If you want to mess around, I would probably start like a burner account and then mod a little bit, wait a little bit, see how it does. If it doesn't do anything, and then mod it a little bit more just to see where the cutoff is for banning and stuff. Skyrim mods are absolutely goated, devil. You're absolutely right. I know that you can't just remind me about it now and shatter my dreams, Roseanne said, peeved. The truth is, I would never become a Beyonder. It's too dangerous. I know when I'll die from sudden gunfire. From what I've seen, Beyonders are basically people who turn themselves into monsters to fight against monsters. That is true. You have never played Skyrim? What? I feel like anyone who's ever played a game has played Skyrim. What? That's wild. Absolutely check it out. It's awesome. The graphics are a bit dated now, obviously, because it's old, but it's amazing. It's right up there for me with like The Witcher 3. Witcher 3 is my favorite game of all time, bar none. Absolutely love that game. The DLCs were perfect. The base game is amazing. Even like a decade and like 12 or 13 years after it's been out, you turn it on and it is so beautiful. Oh my god. Archbishop Chanis said that we are the Guardians, but we also have a bunch of miserable wretches that are constantly fighting against threats and madness. Klein replied, sighing. The quote had left a deep impression on him. To fight against the abyss, we have to endure the corruption of the abyss. Good, wise words. The two of them fell silent in unison. Roseanne was the first to break the silence as she pursed her lips towards the partition and said, Captain wanted to meet you when you arrived. All right. With his hat and cane in hand, Klein passed through the partition and entered Dunn's office after knocking on the door. You couldn't get through The Witcher? What? That might be the wildest thing I've ever read. That's nuts. Oh my god. Alright. I'll see you later, username. Thanks for popping by. Enjoy Reverend Insanity. Let me know how it goes. Alright. With his hat and cane in hand... nope. A middle-aged gentleman with deep and serene grey eyes had a high hairline, put down his coffee, and said with a smile, Dude, I swear this motherfucker cannot stop mentioning his hairline for Dunn and Benson every time he sees them. Holy shit, that's wild. Daly was here. Can't say that I'm surprised. Roseanne had just informed me, Klein said with a smile. Dunn didn't mind his humor, but sighed. Daly was just transferred to the Blacklund Diocese, which is the world's busiest and most crowded city. They have the highest population of Beyonders and the most opportunities. She has a higher chance of becoming an archbishop or a senior deacon than me. Why? Klein asked seriously as he took a seat. Dunn thought for nearly 20 seconds before answering. She has a unique talent in mastering and exploiting sequence potions. I've mentioned the internal rule of the Nighthawks before. If you want to consume the next potion in sequence, you have to wait 3 years and go through a strict examination to prevent any loss of control. But typically, 3 years is far from sufficient. I spent 3 years going from sleepless to midnight poet. It took me 9 to go from midnight poet to nightmare. A full 9 years. And to go from nightmare to sequence 6, I've already spent 3 years and I have no idea how many more I need. My god. So like, that just shows you how like useful the acting is, because it took him 3 years to go from sleepless to midnight, and they said for lower level sequence potions, they didn't say for like level 9, they said for lower level, which would probably mean like 987 maybe, that you can do it in half a year, and if you're really good, then you can even do it in a month. That's like between the month and 9 years, that's like 2 orders of magnitude of difference. That's wild. He just loves hair like me. If I go bald, I would consider killing myself. Hey, you know what? Don't get so attached to any physical thing, Romero. We just never know. You're probably not that... low sequences are 9 and 8. Sure, yeah. But even still, like, that's wild. When our bodies age and our energy starts to decline, even if we overcome the latent dangers, we shouldn't attempt advancing anymore. This is because the risk of losing control at that point is so high that no one is willing to risk it. So it's like a weird balancing thing. If you want to become a really strong Beyonder, you want to try to move as fast as you can, because once you get old, presumably you don't want to do it anymore. But the flip side is you don't want to do it so quickly that you haven't digested it and then you immediately lose your shit. So it's like a weird balancing act. Interesting. As for Daly and I, we are different from most Beyonders. After she became a corpse collector, she handed in a special application after only a year. She had hoped to consume the follow-up potion immediately. What surprised everyone was that she actually passed through the stricter examination and obtained the Gravedigger potion. That would make sense if I guess the consequences as a corpse collector, if she's doing that bit as her job in the Nighthawks, if she's, collecting corpses and examining them and doing that work, she's acting inadvertently as to what she's supposed to be doing, and that'll help her do it a lot faster. 7, 6, and 5 are mid, 4 and up are high. Sounds good. Thank you. Yeah, so like it took Don 9 years to digest the 8 and then take the 7, and it could theoretically be done in 1 to 6 months. Like that's like 2 orders of magnitude. That's such a big difference. That's nutsy shit. It only took her 1 more year to go from Gravedigger to Spirit Medium. Yeah, so I'm guessing because she's inadvertently doing the acting bit, like not because she wants to, but literally because she is. She's just digesting them a lot quicker. Like, I don't know how it would work for a sleepless, because it makes them have to sleep a lot less. I think they said like 2 or 3 hours is sufficient for them. So, but I doubt that by itself is enough, right? It probably means like maybe they have to even still keep pushing so that they only sleep as little as possible to digest it or something. I don't know. Yeah, exact acting method is clearly very useful. It only took her 1 more year to go from Gravedigger to Spirit Medium. This year will be her 5th year as a Beyonder. She's only 24 this year, young enough to have many more opportunities ahead of her. Whoa. Yeah, 24, and she's at level 7, right? I think hers is level 7. Is that right? Let me just check. Corpse Collector, Gravedigger, Spirit Medium. Yeah, so she's at 7, and at this rate, she'll I don't know how long it'll take her to digest the 7 and get to 6. I can't speak to that yet. But that's wild shit. Wait, Speed became a Shaolin monk? I guess he trained with them for a little bit, I guess? You need to act to the deeper meaning of the potion name. Interesting. What is the deeper meaning of sleepless? I don't know. I can't speak to that yet. Interesting. I'll have to give that some thought. On the surface, she's the most famous spirit medium in Awa County, but she's truly an actual spirit medium. Isn't that acting? Old Neil had apparently mentioned that Madame Daly had similar tendencies. Klein felt that he had grasped the reason for Madame Daly's quick ascension through the ranks. Captain, you're young enough as well. You're only in your 30s, Klein comforted. It's just that your memory isn't great. Bro, why are you so mean? Dunn drank a sip of coffee. He shook his head and smiled bitterly. Why didn't you ask Madame Daly about her method of mastering and exploiting sequence potions? Klein purposely asked. Dunn put down his coffee cup and massaged his temples as he spoke. She told me to become a true nightmare. So she's literally telling him to, like Romero just said, act in the deeper meaning of the name. I don't know what that means. Play the role of a nightmare. Man, that sounds sinister. Klein creased his eyebrows. Then Dunn took out a smoking pipe and sniffed at it. Daly and I can discuss the possibility of a Seer's follow-up being Clown. Assuming that the member of the Seers didn't lie to you, she brought up an interesting hypothesis. What hypothesis? Klein asked. He had once used a divination method to determine if a clown was the follow-up potion of a seer. The answer he received had been vague, but it seemed close to a confirmation. Dunn's deep and serene gray eyes swept his gaze while he sat in thought. A normal sequence pathway proceeds in a stepped manner. They advanced according to a particular similarity. For example, Sleepless, Midnight Poet, and Nightmare are all obviously related to the darkness of the night, as well as this peaceful sleep and tranquility that is generated from sleep. It can be imagined that every subsequent sequence have identical traits, only with more power and a wider scope. They might be linked to secrets, disaster, horrors, the Crimson Moon, etc. Certain sequence pathways appear unrelated, but when we analyze them in detail, we can find similarities, such as Assassin and Instigator. Their implied similarity is to bring calamity, pain, sorrow, and despair, and do so, at least in my mind, and at least do so via methods of like deception. An assassin is supposed to be quiet and unseen and stuff, right? And an instigator, like definitionally, is like someone who just makes people get mad, agitates them, and then just leaves as if he didn't do anything because he didn't do any physical actions. Their implied similarity, hence the follow-up sequences should abide this pattern. Klein paid close attention and asked proactively, but Seer and Clown don't have such a connection? Yeah, Dunn nodded and said, Daly believes that there might be sequence pathways that share another kind of relationship. After all, there's a lot we don't know. Speed is going to be the catalyst for the Chinese century, unironically. He's gonna be like the one to bring over Chinese supremacy to America and stuff, like to the West. They're just gonna reprogram him because he's a dumb 18, 19-year-old kid, and they're just gonna reprogram him, and he's just gonna come and spout that shit to millions of kids here. He paused for a moment before saying, Daly said that in this sort of pathway, the low to mid sequence potions would respectively provide the Beyonder an ability that seems brand new and unrelated to the others. When the Beyonder reaches a point of qualitative change, these abilities will mix into an abnormally powerful job that includes them all. Interesting. So this would imply that there's like different, I don't know how to put this, but like different, let's say, categories of sequence potions where, like, assuming, let's say there's 21 of them. I don't know if that's the case, but let's assume there's 21 because there's 21 major tarot cards, right? So let's say like 7 of them are like, I don't know what the names are. I'm just making this up, okay? Let's say 7 of them are like regular, 7 of them are abnormal, and 7 of them are like just weird batshit crazy or something. I don't know, like separate categories that they all have to Um, like they all have similar criteria, and then they match a certain category, and then there's a couple of those. Okay. Yes. In other words, the pathway doesn't advance step by step, but instead it's a relationship of dissection and combination. Okay, so instead of it being like a vertical ladder, it's more like horizontal integration. If that makes sense to you guys. Oh yes, sorry, 22. Yes, you're right. Sorry, 22. My bad. Thanks, Romero. It's 21 numbers and then the Fool, which is a 0 or unnumbered. Yeah. Klein listened intently, but he felt lost. Dunn lifted his right hand and said, "A normal sequence pathway advances a bit at a time, like a child growing up. A growing child becomes taller, stronger, heavier, and more mature from a young age. While a special sequence potion is more like..." Having said this, Dunn lifted his thumb. "This is sequence 9. Then he lifted his index finger. "This is sequence 8. Then he gradually lifted up the rest of his fingers. Each and every finger is independent and doesn't seem to be related to the others. But in the end..." When he said the word "end," Dunn clenched his fingers into a tight fist. "I understand now." Klein was suddenly enlightened. He agreed with Lady Daly's guess and the captain's metaphor. Maybe that's how it is. Sequence 8 Clown and Sequence 9 Seer are completely different and have brand new abilities. And according to the description from the Nighthawk's intelligence, the corresponding Sequence 7 and 8 Clown don't share any similarities either. Klein felt silent for a moment while curiously pressing on, at which stage would the different abilities combine to form a qualitative change. Dunn took another sip and chuckled. "Daly and I guess Sequence 4. Because sequence 4 would officially become a high-level sequence, so maybe that's when they start coming together." Romero? Obviously, I know you can't tell me that. Fuck's sakes, what did I open? Obviously, I know you can't tell me. It's a rhetorical question. Because according to the way the church categorizes sequences, okay, fuck me, I just gotta read. Okay, sequence 4 is the beginning point of higher sequences. It is said that merely achieving such a level brings a qualitative change in vitality and energy. In ancient times, sequence 4s were qualified to be called demigods in the fourth epoch. It's a pity that such beyonders are very rare in such an era. If sequence 4 to sequence 1 are high-level beyonders, then who are low-level beyonders? Klein asked with interest. Sequence 9 through 7 are considered low-level sequence. Okay, you were literally just right on the money, Romero. Like, you told me like maybe 15 minutes before. That's perfect. 9 through 7 are considered low-level sequences 1,000 years ago. But in recent times, beyonders are few in number, and as such, each church has listed 7 as a mid-sequence. Dunn laughed in a self-deprecating manner. 9 and 8 are low-level sequences, 7 through 5 are mid. Finally, those sequence 4 and above are high sequences. Klein repeated in his head and inevitably felt a yearning. Emperor Roselle was a high sequence beyonder. Wait, where did Emperor Roselle get to? Do we know this? Fuck, I don't want to search this up. It's gonna give me a fucking spoiler if I search this up. Fuck. If someone knows, am I allowed to know? If I am, someone tell me. If not, just tell me to shut up. I have a PhD in... Yeah. By the way, I'm curious. Have you guys read LOTM more than one time, or... Not yet. Okay, no problem. Thanks, Del. I know every sequence name by heart. That's fucking wild. However, the higher the sequence, the greater the risk of losing control, Klein thought to himself in fear. He asked as though in a seemingly casual manner, "What is the sequence 4 of the Church of Goddess called?" In actual fact, I'm not sure. Okay, we don't know yet. Thanks, guys. Clown Man, good to have you. You've read LOTM 5 times? Stop. Ramiro, you're kidding. What? That's wild. Wait, as in Clown Man, you've read this 5 times too? Stop, guys. If you've read all of it 5 times, it's 7,000 chapters you've read. Stop. You're actual... No. You're killing me. In actual fact, I'm not sure. My security clearance isn't high enough for me to be privy to that information. I'll be able to read them when I become a diocese bishop or Nighthawk's deacon. Dunn shook his head and smiled. In fact, at least half of the church's 13 archbishops and 9 senior deacons at the top of the church hierarchy are below sequence 4. That's just me being optimistic. The Archbishop Ince Zangwill, who became wanted, lost control when he tried to advance to sequence 4. Wait, hold on. Half of the 13 beacons, so let's say 6, and 9 senior beacons. So we've got like 15 or 16 people in the church who are below sequence 4. So that's sequence 3 or 2 or 1. 5.5. Dude, how much more, like, are you looking to create like a fucking interpolation in the book to discover some new shit? What the fuck? Read something else. What are we doing? That's, oh my god, that's wild. You guys are wild. I remember I had to teach you lore like a noob. The one who stole sealed artifact 08. Wait, 008? What the oh, yes, we did hear about this. Whoa. His potion, oh yeah, the hyper dangerous, like can't even talk about it. You mention its name and you die. Sealed artifact level 0. Nightwalker, good to have you. How you doing, bud? His potion was apparently called Gatekeeper. Klein thought and probed, is Sleepless Sequence 5 Gatekeeper? No, that's Spirit Medium's pathway. You'll be allowed to access that information when you reach Sequence 7 or become a bishop or captain of a Nighthawk's team. Gatekeeper is a Sequence 5 of the Spirit Medium pathway. Doesn't mean that it's gatekeeping over the gates of hell, or keeping watch over the gates to the spirit world, Klein guessed. Alright, go to Old Neil and continue your studies. Don't forget about dinner tonight at Old Will's restaurant. Reservations have been made. I'll introduce you to the rest of the Nighthawks officially. Alright, I've already prepared the money, Klein forced a smile. He's like, holy shit, I'm gonna have to pay like £1 for food, this fucking shit, oh my god. There's no need. Have you forgotten that we have additional bonuses? The part of you completing an assigned mission? Klein was momentarily taken aback before replying with a beaming smile. Alright, Captain. That's cute. That was sweet. He turned around and walked towards the door while counting inwardly. 3, 2, 1. Why didn't the captain call me back? Let me catch up with Nightwalker. You really don't have to, man. We're like 20 minutes in. It's not that much at all. LTM is great on rereads. It might be. But I'm gonna be honest. Nightwalker told me too. He was like, yeah, like rereads are great. And I was like, bro, if I get through this once, that would be a fucking miracle, okay? Because it's LOTM and COI are combined. I think you guys said 2,600 chapters or so. Holy shit. Klein, I uploaded the song I made about you. You made a song, Milos? What is happening here? Klein dragged out one for a very long time, only to be surprised that Captain Dunn hadn't forgotten anything. A true miracle. In the armory, old Neil stole a glance at Klein, who was in a good mood. Don't be obsessed with tonight's dinner. You still have a lot of things to learn, such as more ritualistic magic, ancient Hermes, dragonish, elvish, and many more. Dragonish? Were there dragons in this world? Yeah, after every afternoon besides your day off, you have to have at least 2 hours of combat training with an instructor. Combat training? Captain didn't mention that. Old Neil didn't hesitate. He forgot. He forgot to. Oh my god. I mean, 2.7, like, I mean, that's a lot of words, but I also don't have a good frame of reference of what a long book is, right? Like, hold on. Like, sorry. How many words is the Harry Potter series? What? Oh, good God. It's like I'm reading the Harry Potter series 5 times? Fuck. Oh, God. Okay, y'all gotta stop. How do you just know, you know this offhand? That's just like a weird trivia fact. You're like, oh yeah, the Harry Potter series, 1,084,000 words. You just know this? There are fanfics that are 2 million words. Romero, bro. Man, there's so much great stuff. There's so much great stuff. Hold on. Like, you have that much time to read fanfic. Hold on. Okay. You have that much time to read fanfic? Read this, okay? The Book of Five Rings from Miyamoto Musashi. Fantastic book. Read that, bro. What are you reading 2 million word fanfics for? What are you doing? Amnesia. Yeah, you're right. I'm not even trying to focus on the first book, bro. I'm just trying to focus on the chapter in front of me, okay? Because 1,400 chapters is so daunting to think about. But you know what? You just focus on one chapter at a time. You're fine. All right, chapter 97, Combat Teacher. Oh my God. At least 2 in the afternoon, outside of a simple 2-storied building that was in despair at the outskirts of the North Borough. I play games while fanfics are on text-to-speech? What is happening? Don't remind me. I have exams coming up in a week's time too. Next week is my last week of classes, and I have my final exam, so don't remind me. But April 15th is my last exam. I'll be done in 2.5 weeks. I'll be all done, so all good. All right, at 2 in the afternoon, outside of a simple 2-storied building that was in despair at the outskirts of the North Borough, Klein, who was in his probationary inspector uniform, looked at the weed-filled garden and the vines that had crept up to the walls. He turned his head in surprise. My combat instructor lives here. Shouldn't a combat artist who was selected by the Nighthawks be exceptional? Leonard Mitchell, who guided Klein here and snickered and said, "Don't underestimate Mr. Gawain because of his residence's surroundings. Although he was never conferred with an aristocrat title, he was a true knight back in the day." The fact that he says back in the day just implies to me that he's going to be like old and decrepit at this point. I finished 3 novels during the most important... That is some degenerate shit clown, man, I will say. Impressive. That being said, I'm still going to continue streaming during exam period. Fuck it, we'll figure it out, later. I'm gonna... My daily life nowadays is like, I wake up, if I have class right in the morning, I'll go to class. If I don't, I'm going to stream. Then I'll go to class, come home, make a video, take care of like my niece and nephew for a little bit, and then pass out. Like, that's my and go to the gym sometime in the middle, and that's it. That's my whole daily life. It's like, holy shit. So much of it is content creation at this point. It's wild. I am really trying to make this shit work, boys. Hold on, where was I? Having said that, the poetic Nighthawk, who was dressed in a white shirt, black trousers, and buttonless leather boots, suddenly felt melancholic. He was active during the waning era of the Knights. The warrior donning their armors would storm through the enemy ranks despite the gunfire and cannon fire, destroying their enemies and redefining the battle lines. But alas, they were quickly met with the invention of the high-pressure steam gun and 6-barrel machine guns. From then on, Knights had to gradually step down. Mr. Gawain met the same fate. More than 20 years ago, the Awa Knights Order of Chivalry faced the most advanced weaponry of the Intis Republic army. Every time I recall this, it seems like I'm touching the dust heaps of history. The poet in me stirs when thinking of the irreversible and fated destiny. but alas, I do not know how to compose the poem. Then what's the point in saying so goddamn much? Basic, like, average poet lore? What the fuck? At this point, everyone knows about you. Well, wake up, find LOTM content, read, whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait, hold on, you said I have exams, I have no time. So there's no exams in that daily life, Romero. What's happening? Are you lying to me? What's happening here? Is he hinting at the... Wait, hold on. Sorry. Then what's the point in saying so much? Klein acted oblivious to Leonard's self-deprecation and gave a serious suggestion. My university schoolmate once told me that composing of poems requires a certain degree of talent. It's best you start by reading the classical poems anthology of the Lowen Kingdom. Leonard's mood changed on a whim. He replied with a light-hearted tone. I purchased that book a long time ago, as well as other titles, such as the selected poems of Emperor Roselle. I will work hard to become a true midnight poet, Mr. Seer. Is he hinting at the acting method? Klein replied as though he couldn't understand him. You would still need books on grammar. All right, let's enter. Leonard extended his hand and pushed the half-closed metallic gates. The two of them followed the path towards the house. They were still a distance away from the house when Klein saw a tall man walking out from behind the main door. I can't talk right now. What the fuck is happening? He had short blonde hair, his brows were laced with white hairs, his facial features looked like they had been ravaged through age, his wrinkles were etched deep across his face. What are you doing here? The aged man asked in a deep voice. Mr. Gawain, as per your contract with the police department, this probationary inspector will be learning the art of combat under your guidance, Leonard explained with a smile. Combat? There's no need to study combat in this era. Gawain looked at Klein with turbid eyes and said in a dead voice, You should learn how to draw your gun and shoot. You should master the most advanced weaponry. Was this the psychological trauma caused by the 6-barrel machine gun and the high-pressure steam guns? Klein didn't give a reckless reply. Instead, he smiled and looked at Leonard. The art of combat is still a skill a policeman has to master. Most of the criminals we face are not those who must be executed on the spot. Some might not even have weapons. In that case, we have to rely on combat technique, Leonard said. With a dark expression, Gawain fell silent for more than 10 seconds before saying, Throw a punch. He was talking to Klein. Klein, who was not holding his cane, remembered the boxing lessons he had taken in his previous life. He raised his hand and threw it forward. Gawain's lips twitched indiscernibly. He thought for a moment and said, Kick. Tilting to the side slightly and twisting his hip, Klein tightened his thigh muscles and kicked forward with his right foot. Oh, he did a front kick. Interesting. Cough. Gawain covered his mouth and cleared his throat. He looked at Leonard and said, I will honor my contract. But based on his foundation, he needs to come here 4 times a week. 3 hours each time for the first month. What the fuck? He wants to do 12 hours of combat training a week? That's way too much. Mine is wake up, eat, see if there's any Monster Hunter news, go on Discord, read RI optional, and if I'm motivated, I'll publish a chapter of my novel. Here's the cool thing, Milos. If you're interested in doing something, you gotta do it even if you're not motivated, man. You gotta write those chapters. Trust me. There's plenty of days where I get up and I don't want to make a video, but it's like, no. I get it. I get that. Like, don't get me wrong. I know that it sounds like a shitty thing and like I'm just being facetious or whatever, but like it's true, man. It's built on a, you know, any good thing is built on the foundation of like doing it on shitty days. So I get it, but yeah. I am a passionate and loyal man. I don't find a lot of things I like, but when I find something, I get obsessed and read fanfics. What is RWBY? Sorry. It's a animated web series. I have not seen it. I can't speak to that. Oh. Got most of it through fanfics. Milos makes Romero chapters for a living. And that's true, even for a passion project. I think I think it's good to do things you don't want on a daily basis. I can't remember. There's a thing in Japan. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like basically one day a year you do something like really really hard. You do something that is like way harder than something you would ever normally do. Whether what that looks like is different for everyone. So it can be like you run a marathon one day, or you do something just extraordinarily hard. And the point is, for the rest of the year, every time you don't want to do a thing, you think about that one thing you did, and you go, compared to that, like, this is really easy. Like, compared to running that marathon, just going to the gym today, that's like no problem, right? So I get it, Miles. I do, but I'm just saying, like, it's good to do stuff when you don't want to. It's really handy. I do a lot of things I don't want to. I live in a third world country. That's a good one, Romero. That was good. That was very good. You are the combat expert. It's up to you, Leonard nodded without hesitation. He smiled and said to Klein, "See you at dinner." After Leonard walked out of the metallic gate, Klein asked out of curiosity, "Instructor, how should I begin practicing? Punching or footwork?" As a qualified keyboard warrior, he understood the importance of footwork in combat. Gawain stood akimbo as he shook his head lethargically. "What you need now is strength training." He's just gonna make him go to the gym. I love it. See those? Those are 2 dumbbells made of steel. They should be your partners for today. Other than that, you also have to practice deep squats, running, and rope skipping. Let us take those one step at a time. Bro, he's gonna do the Saitama routine. While Klein was in a daze, Gawain suddenly raised his eyebrows and said sternly, "Understood?" "Understood." At that moment, Klein felt as though he had returned to military training and was facing an inhuman instructor. "Change out of your clothes. There's a set of knight's training clothes on the sofa." Gawain suddenly sighed. He turned around and walked towards the black steel dumbbells. 6 in the evening, at the corner table of the Old Will restaurant. Other than Fry, who was guarding Channis Gate, all the members of the Blackthorn Security Company were present. There were 6 Nighthawks and 5 civilian staff. A white tablecloth was draped over the long table. Waiters carried plates of food, portioned them before serving them to each individual guest. Klein saw steaks drenched in black pepper sauce. He saw bacon, sausages paired with mashed potatoes, egg pudding, asparagus, and specialty cheeses. He even saw rose-colored champagne. However, he had no appetite. The training in the afternoon nearly made him vomit. That is how the first couple of days, maybe even a couple of weeks in the gym go, for sure. I go through life on autopilot, Vec. Are you okay, buddy? Do you need to talk? I wouldn't wish India on my worst enemy. Oh, that's so funny. Except Milos, of course. Serbia's the most fucked up stuff I've seen. Just yesterday, one of the guys I know said he would a word that rhymes with. Oh, good lord, Milos. Oh my god. You don't want to know what they talk about. Okay. Noticing the pale, newly inducted Nighthawk with turbid eyes, Dunn raised his glass of red wine in front of him and laughed. "Let us welcome our newest official member, Klein Moretti. Cheers." The cold and introverted black-haired lady, Royal Radine, the sleepless Kenley White, the sloppy Leonard Mitchell. Bro, why is Leonard just catching strays? What is happening? As well as the white-haired, black-eyed midnight poet, Sikatron, all raced their clubs. What? All raised their cups and looked at the new member of their team. Klein fought back the discomfort of the training and raised his glass of amber champagne. He stood up and said, "Thank you." He clinked glasses with every Nighthawk, tilted his head back, and finished the small amount of champagne. Is our Miss Author not going to say something on this occasion? Dunn smiled and looked at Sikatron. Sika was a lady in her 30s. She had average looks but an exceptional demeanor, one that was quiet and serene. Coupled with her few strands of graying hair, it added quite a unique charm to her. Klein had heard old Neil mention that this midnight poet had taken on a side job as an author and had attempted to submit her work to newspapers and magazines. Unfortunately, only a few smaller newspapers had accepted them. Sika smiled and looked at Dunn. "In order to make the term Miss Author into a reality, Captain, I think you should give me some funds to self-publish your work." Dunn laughed. "You should learn from old Neil and give me a more suitable reason." "I'm more impressed with Mr. Neil in this department," Roseanne echoed. Amidst the chatter and laughter, Leonard looked at Klein and said with a chuckle, "Are you so tired that you have no appetite to eat?" "Yeah," Klein sighed. Bruh, wait, it's my word. Some 6th grade kid was threatening to, what the fuck? And throwing them inside the dumpster. Stop! No, Klein, Clown Man, I assume you're joking. Oh my god. Wait, Nightwalker, did he just catch up to stream now after watching at 2x? Oh my god, Ramira X Demon, what the, oh my god, what did I get into, guys? Good lord. "If you haven't touched your food, I can be of assistance." Leonard acted as though he didn't want to waste my food. Klein didn't mind. He nodded and said that won't be an issue. With that said, a good portion of food in front of him was eaten by Leonard and the rest. Nearing the end of dinner, the waiter served plates of beef pudding and ice cream. Holy shit, they have ice cream back here? Okay. Klein tasted ice cream and found it cold and sweet. It was particularly appetizing. Before he realized it, he had finished the ice cream drizzled in blueberry sauce. Interesting. As a result of this, he started to feel the hunger pangs. It was a hunger which demanded recharging food that came after intense exertion. Swallowing his saliva, Klein looked to the front, only to see that the plates were empty. There were no leftovers. Let's end the dinner here and give Klein a final toast. Before finishing his sentence, Klein asked, "No, Klein, you can't do that." Captain, may I order another plate of food?" The group fell silent after hearing such a request, only to break into chuckles moments later. "You've finally recovered. No problem. Order 2 plates if you want to." Dunn just shook his head and laughed. While patiently waiting an unbearable amount of time, Klein heard his stomach growling. Finally, a fresh prepared black pepper steak was served before him. His fork and knife danced just as Klein finished the medium steak done in 90 seconds. Tears nearly falling from his eyes, the meat juices, the fragrances of the sauce lingered in his mouth. "Demoness is my homie. He promised to pay for Wawa for me. He my homie." I will check out Wawa if you're insistent, Romero. I don't know when the fuck I'm gonna have time to play it, but I will download it. Do I actually have it downloaded? Okay, still have the setup, so. Okay. The waiter went to the counter, then returned with the wait, where was I? Some time later, Klein let out a satisfied sigh as he looked at his empty plate. He put down his knife and fork and took a sip of the champagne. "Waiter, the bill, please." Dunn turned around and called for the waiter. The waiter went to the counter, then returned with the check. He gave a thorough breakthrough. I'm not reading all that, boys. The total would be £5, 9 soli, and 6 pence. £5, 9 soli, and 6 pence? That's nearly my weekly salary. A restaurant is indeed much more expensive than eating at home. Klein clicked his tongue upon hearing that. He felt lucky that the captain had said that he didn't need to pay out of his own pocket. They had some petty cash from bonus earnings. He calculated the cost carefully and noticed the most expensive portion of the meal was the alcohol. 5 bottles of champagne cost more than £3. Kids in my middle school threw out other people's entire backpacks of the 3rd floor into the trash. Bro, that's so funny. You guys are... Yeah, our bullying is a lot more sophisticated over in North America. We just like shove you into lockers and stuff. Personal property damaging is rare. It happens, but it's a lot more rare. Like you got to be doing something wrong if someone's doing that to you. The next morning, Klein felt bloated. He tried to get off the bed in his sleepy stupor. Just as he exerted strength, he was instantly awakened by his aching muscles. He felt as though his body wasn't under control. First, he pulls people into the yeah. He used to get like... Wait, hold on. Your friend had like alt... Sorry, Clownman, your friend had like alt Instagram accounts or what? Hold on. The next morning, Klein felt bloated. He tried to get off the bed in his sleepy stupor. Just as he exerted strength, he was instantly awakened by his aching muscles. He felt as though his body wasn't under his control. What a familiar feeling. It's the same as the day that we got punished with frog jumps. Today is a rest day. But I still have to pay a visit to my mentor and see if I can borrow the monograph of the Hornacis peak from the library at the university. Klein's lips twitched as he made his way outside with some effort. He wanted to draw a gasp with every step. Klein, what happened to you? Melissa, who had just come out of the bathroom, sized up her brother's suspiciously odd posture and slow movement. My friend urging me to watch. I assume that's Solo Leveling, Clown Man. All right, here's the thing. I will give you the rundown, okay? I, despite everyone else here, I'm sure they're gonna disagree, but I love Solo Leveling, okay? I really like it. It's not a super intense, super in-depth show. It doesn't flesh out its world, doesn't flesh out its side characters, nothing like that. It's just brainless aura farming, which, it's just pure dopamine for like 2 seasons straight. So, I like it. I'm sure Romero's gonna give me shit for it, but fuck him. Chapter 98, Mr. Azik. I think I'm just starting to realize my camera is mounted slightly uneven. I'll adjust that. I'll do that after the stream. It's too late now. Faced with his sister's question, all Klein could reply with Faced with his sister's question, all Klein could do was reply with a regretful smile. Sore muscles. He had originally believed that consuming the sequence potion, his constitution would be enhanced as a Beyonder, but the harsh reality told him that Asir's stat points were all allocated to spirituality, mind, intuition, and interpretation. It didn't aid him in adjusting to combat training, but I think Sequence 8 Clown is gonna give him like a huge stat boost. If I can't do physical bullying, I go to catfish, then cyberbully people. Wait, what the fuck? Izigiki and Anime Wiz are the same person? Wait, what? I'm clearly missing the joke there, Milos. We hate it because its fandom thinks it's peak above all. Well, yes, but that's probably true, Clown Man. I agree. But you have to understand, its fandom is filled with 12-year-olds. Are you gonna fight with them? What are you gonna do? I guess you would probably take off their shoes and throw them in a dumpster. But like, normally you'd just be the bigger man and let it go, you know? Hold on. As for the original Klein, he had focused on his studies early on and had studied and had suffered from malnutrition that led him to possess a below average physical condition. The fact that he was still having after effects from working out was to be expected. Makes sense. Sore muscles. I remember you returning after dinner last night and you didn't do anything else. Does alcohol cause sore muscles? Melissa asked. Okay, Ramiro. Did you listen to what I said, bro? What the fuck? I thought we were friends. What is this? Like, delete that comment. YouTube's gonna fucking take down my channel, bro. What are we doing here? Hold on. Uh, does alcohol cause sore muscles? Sis, that question can't help but make me have what the fuck? Oh, I get the joke. Okay. Klein laughed dryly and said, "No, this has nothing to do with the alcohol. It was from yesterday afternoon. I joined the company's combat training." Combat? Melissa was even more astonished. "Thank you." Ramiro. Yeah, I saw it. Klein organized his thoughts and said, "Well, this is what happened. I considered it and believed that as a historical and relic consultant of a security company, it's impossible for me to stay in the office or port warehouse forever. Perhaps there will come a day when I have to accompany them to the villages or ancient castles, to the site of some relic. That may require me to hike, cross rivers, and to walk a lot. I'll have to endure I'll have to endure all sorts of tests posed by nature, so I have to possess a sufficiently healthy body." "So you joined combat training to enhance your stamina?" Melissa seemed to understand her brother's intention. "That's right," Klein answered with great affirmation. Melissa said with a frown, "But that isn't gentlemanly. Don't you always keep yourself to the standard of a professor? A professor only requires the ability to read historical documents, ponder over physical questions, and maintain a polite and gentlemanly demeanor." "Of course. I'm not saying that those aren't all good things. I prefer men who can solve problems on their own, regardless of whether that solution requires brawn or brain." Hold on. Okay. What did I miss? I just learned to sit back and observe, not everything. What do you... But I don't throw people in dumpsters. I only threw... Wait, no, Clown Man. I said you threw it. I said you would throw their shoes in a dumpster. I didn't say the kid. Hold on. I didn't say that. Let me... just pure... Yeah, Ramiro, does she go to a different school, buddy? Klein smiled and said, No, Melissa. Your definition of a professor contains a misconception. A true professor can communicate with people gently and politely, but he can also educate the person using the principles of physics by raising a cane to convince someone when there is an obstacle in communication. Cute. Yeah. Principles of physics. Melissa was momentarily at a loss, but she quickly understood what her brother was saying. She was suddenly unable to retort him. Klein didn't say anything more, but widened his pace with great difficulty as he headed to the bathroom. Melissa stood there and watched for a few seconds. She suddenly shook her head and caught up with Klein. "Do you need my help?" She posed as if she was supporting someone. "We have been in the same class for years." Oh, sorry, I didn't know if you got the joke. Here, it's like a common joke that like someone who doesn't have a girlfriend will be like, "Oh no, I have a girlfriend. She just goes to a different school." That's why like no one's ever met her. It was a joke. It's all good. Um, Wait, hold on. No, there's no need to. I was hemming it up a bit earlier. Klein felt humiliated. He suddenly stood straight and walked normally. Watching her brother walk steadily to the bathroom and close the door, Melissa pursed her lips and muttered, "Klein is getting more and more pretentious. I even believed that his muscle soreness was really that serious." In the bathroom, Klein stood behind the tightly shut door, his face contorting in pain. Ouch, ouch, ouch. He held his breath, tensed his body, and stood there for a good 7 or 8 seconds. When he finally went downstairs with great effort, had breakfast, and saw Benson and Melissa off, His soreness finally began to ease. After resting for a little while, Klein took his cane, donned his top hat, and left the house, strolling towards the public carriage stop. Okay. Yeah, I thought it was a relatively common joke, so I didn't explain it at first, but good explanation, Devil. I like it. Where was it? Yes. During the summer, Koi University had trees with shade providing foliage. Flourishing with birds and luxuriant flowers, it was peaceful and calm. Walking along the river, Klein took a turn towards the history department. Then he found the 3-story building which showed its age and located his mentor, Cohen Quinton's office. He knocked and entered the room, but he was shocked to see the man sitting at the mentor's seat was the academic Azik. "Good morning, Mr. Azik. Where's my mentor? We had an appointment by letter to meet here at 10. Klein asked, puzzled. Azik, who was Cohen Quinton's best friend and often debated with his mentor regarding academic topics, smiled and said, "Cohen had a last-minute meeting and went to Tingen University. He asked me to wait for you here. He had bronze skin and average height and build, black hair, brown eyes, and gentle facial features." My lord, is he just describing me? What is happening here? Being in the presence brought on an indiscernible feeling, as though he could see in the man's eyes that he had been through the vicissitudes of life. Right under his right ear was a tiny mole that one wouldn't notice unless examined closely. Bro, why are you examining him so closely? Hold on. Loretta, are you sure they're not... Ramiro's friend groups are all just his alts. Isn't it under a paywall? No. Wait, I can only see half. Oh, stop. Gotta choose it. Wait. Having said the reason, Azik suddenly frowned as he carefully observed Klein. Feeling confused by the sudden scrutiny, Klein looked at his attire. Have I committed some breach of etiquette? Tuxedo, black vest, white shirt, black bow tie, dark-colored trousers, leather pants with no buttons. Everything seemed normal. Azik's brows eased and he chuckled. "Don't mind me. I suddenly noticed that you are way more energetic than before. You even look like a gentleman now." "Thank you for your compliment," Klein accepted it calmly. "Mr. Azik, did my mentor manage to find the book Research of the Hornacis Main Peak's relic in the school library?" "He found it with my assistance." He then pulled open a drawer and took out a gray-covered book. You are no longer a Koi University student anymore. You can read it here, but you cannot take it home." What a bitch. Once again, comment from the past. Arching muscle. Yes, I think so too, Nightwalker. Once again, weird posture, suspicious pairwise. Yeah. I didn't realize it when she said that, but I realized it when I thought she was making a joke when she said, "Do alcohols cause sore muscles?" I thought that was a joke there. The book's design was fully in line with current trends. It used hard paper as a cover, and it was printed with an image like an abstract version of the main peak of Hornacis Mountains range. Klein took a glance and found a seat. He flipped open the book and started reading carefully, line by line. As he became engrossed in the book, he suddenly realized there was a cup of rich, fragrant coffee by his side. "Help yourself to sugar and milk." Azik put down the silver saucer and pointed to the milk jar and sugar container. "Thank you," Klein nodded with gratitude. He added 3 cubes of sugar and a teaspoon of milk before continuing to read his book. The book, Research of the Hornacis Main Peak Relics, was not a very thick book. Klein finished reading it when it was almost noon. He took note of a few noteworthy points. First, the settlement of the main Hornacis Peak and its surrounding area was obviously an advanced civilization, which existed as part of an ancient nation. Second, from their wall murals, their perspective on life appeared similar to that of humans. As I can assume for now, they were human. Third, they revered yet feared the darkness of the night. Hence they called their god the ruler of Evernight, mother of the sky. I see. Bro, why are you guys thirsting so hard for Azik? What the fuck? Fourth, the weirdest part is that the researchers haven't found any graves in the entire area, which initially seems to indicate that people didn't need to be buried there because they didn't die. Is that what you think? Couldn't it just be that like maybe they had some weird kind of ritual or belief that like they shouldn't bury the dead, or maybe they like fuck, what is it called when you like maybe they cremated the dead? Like why are you making such assumptions? What the fuck? However, that would be contrary to the contents of the wall mural. In the wall mural, the contents and the people in the nation believe that death is not the end. They believe that their deceased family would protect them in the night. Hence, they would keep their deceased family at home on the bed by their side for a full 3 days. You sent some Azik art? You sent some art for the main character's mentor's best friend? How much are we gonna hear about this Azik guy? What the fuck? I thought he was just gonna be like a small minor character. What the fuck? No, there's nothing beyond that for the wall murals, as it doesn't involve burials. Klein took another sip of coffee and continued to write down his afterthoughts at his notebook. Mother of the Sky. Sky Mother is such a grand title. While the ruler of Evernight obviously overlaps with the Evernight goddess, is this a contradiction at its roots? In the ancient remains on the main peak of Hornacis mountain range and its surrounding areas, every arrangement and decoration was well preserved. Even the wall didn't have any signs of damage. Before it was discovered, there would seem to be no disturbance at all. The table was arranged with cutlery, and there were dried stains of rot on the dining plate. In some rooms, there were half-filled bottles of alcohol that had almost turned to plain water. What the fuck? Hold on. Sorry, I just need to read that again. Interesting. Okay. What happened to the nation's people? They seem to have left their homes in a hurry without taking anything with them, and they never returned. Because his official heart. Ah, I see, Daly. Thanks. Hold on. Considering how there are no... I mean, technically I'm sure it's a spoiler in that, like, it's telling me a thing I don't know yet, Clownman, but, like, they're just telling me that he'll become important later, right? So, as long as you don't tell me anything specific, it's all good. Like, now if you tell me that, hey, on chapter 247, fucking Azik dies or some shit, okay, it's a fucking problem. But, like, vague kind of shit like this, all good. Considering there were no burial grounds, that only makes it weirder. The author, by the way, you know what this reminds me of? They seem to have left their homes in a hurry without taking anything with them. It reminds me of, yeah, that's the Lost Roanoke colony. This was like a early event to colonize the North America, or America, I guess, and they left like a small colony of people, and when they came back, they just disappeared, and like 500 years later, 400 years later, and we can't fucking figure out where they went or what happened to them. Like, we don't know if they died, if they moved, what, nothing. It's wild shit. Klein steps on an ant, and in chapter 547, ban, immediate ban. The author, Mr. Joseph, mentioned that when he discovered their remains, he even had the belief that the people residing there had just vanished all of a sudden. Klein stopped writing and cast his gaze at the illustration. On John Joseph's third visit to the main peak of the Hornacis mountain range, he had used a new camera model to shoot a monograph photo. In the photo, the lofty palace had a collapsed wall and was overgrown with weeds. It followed a grandeur style for its design. When he flipped to the photo, Klein's first thought of the palace was that he had seen it in his dream. Whoa, is maybe the gray fog palace that he goes to is like based off of this one. Ooh, because then that could mean like he just inherited some kind of like access to that from like someone who used to previously live in the Hornacis mountain range, maybe. Oh, that's cool. The two styles were identical. The only difference was that the one in the dream was on a peak and it was way more magnificent. It had a huge chair, a seat of honor that didn't look like it'd seat a human. Now, I don't know what that means. When it says that didn't look like it, that looked like it didn't seat a human. Maybe that means like it's really big, and if it's really big, they do say that there's Jotun in this universe, which means there were giants in this universe, meaning maybe it was made to seat a giant. Who knows? Countless translucent maggots clustered together and squirmed slowly beneath the chair. I confirmed that my dream is related to the ancient remains on the main peak of the Hornacis mountain range. That should be the nation of the Evernight, which was referred in the indigenous family notebook. Klein nodded slightly and closed the book. At that moment, Azik, who was sitting opposite to him, touched the inconspicuous mole under his nose and said, "How was it? Found anything?" "Quite a bit. Take a look. I've written so many pages of notes." Klein pointed to the table and smiled. "I don't understand why you're suddenly so interested in this matter." Azik sighed and said, "Klein, when I studied at the Blackland University, I had dabbled with some divination and did quite a bit of research on that. Well, I discovered that there is disharmony in your fate." "What divination? Are you talking to me about divination?" As a seer, Klein looked at Azik, the academic, in amusement. "How is it disharmonious?" Yeah, so if it means big, maybe it means that, like, maybe it just means that, like, it was made to seat a Jotun or, like, a giant, maybe. Sorry about that, guys. My water went down the wrong pipe. Oh, good lord. Have you encountered many strange coincidences in the last 2 months? Coincidences? As he was indebted to Mr. Azik, Klein didn't dispute the question as he subconsciously began thinking. If we're talking about coincidences, the most obvious matter was when we were after the kidnappers. We actually managed to find clues of the indigenous family notebook that was lost for days in the room opposite the kidnapper. Also, Ray Bieber didn't flee from Tingen in a hurry. Instead, he found a place to digest the power bestowed by the notebook, allowing for 249 to track him down easily. That seemed to be against common sense. Although Harson gave a reasonable explanation, I always had a nagging feeling that it was somewhat coincidental. Selena had stolen a glance at Vincent's secret incantation, but she held back till her birthday dinner banquet to try it out, and I happened to discover it, which was quite the coincidence too. Otherwise, Vincent wouldn't have been the only one to die so quickly. Klein thought about it seriously for a few minutes and said there were 3, neither too many nor too frequent. Interesting. Furthermore, it was nothing that indicated someone's involvement and guidance. Azik nodded slightly. As Emperor Roselle once said, a single coincidence is encountered by anyone. Twice is still normal. Thrice is when one should consider what internal factors are influencing those coincidences. Can you tell me anything else? Klein prodded. Azik shook his head and laughed. I can only tell that there's been some disharmony, nothing else. You have to understand that I'm not a real seer. You can look at Azik's art at the end of this chapter. Yeah, sounds good, Miles. Isn't that basically equal to saying nothing? Mr. Azik is quite odd. He played quite a charlatan in front of a charlatan. He's playing a charlatan in front of a charlatan like me. Klein let out a breath, seizing the moment when Azik stood up. He pinched his glabella and activated his spirit vision. When he looked over, Azik's aura finally appeared before his eyes and everything seemed normal. Unfortunately, I can only see the ether body and astral projection of a person above the grey fog. Klein thought carefully as he tapped his glabella twice while standing up. I can only see the ether body and astral projection. Interesting. Alright, give me 1 second. Let me pull up the Discord really quick. Coming up again? Yep. Not that one. Artwork. Oh, I see. I can see why you guys are thirsting on the man. That's cool. Although I will say they make him a lot lighter in skin tone, because I think it said he has bronze color skin. Like this one is relatively good, but then like as you get further and further, like this is just a white guy. And I don't mean that pejoratively. I apologize if it came out that way. I just interesting, but yeah, I can see why. Those are some good art. Like this, like again, the skin tone I think is off, but like that's really good art, man. By the way, I will say, all of this, the cat in particular tells me that this guy might become a Beyonder later. Just a guess. I don't know. Interesting. Yeah. Thanks, Miles. Thanks, and Romero for putting those in. I appreciate it. Look at that. We're making about average timing. We're about, I think, about an hour in, 3 chapters in. Pretty good. Okay. Chapter 99, Red Chimney. Yeah, like literally all the fan art I've seen is like so good. I agree. Like clearly people are putting effort into this shit. This man making crackpot theories like easy enough. Okay, I apologize. The cat, bro. I'm sorry. This motherfucker's roasting the shit out of me. Holy shit, Romero. Goddamn. Crackpot theories. That's good. Okay, so I'm gonna get started on 99 in 1 second. I think we're making good progress, man. We'll end today at chapter 100, finally be in the triple digits. I am so excited to see what happened with fuck, what's the guy? Instigator Triss, the captain of the Alfalfa, who had that whole fucking thing. I meant that as a compliment. They're funny. Okay, that's good. Like Instigator Triss, because I know like he got away and then he met up with someone of the Demoness sect, whatever, and then they offered him potion number 7, which I am so excited to see what happens. I really hope we get to hear something about that soon. I'm so excited. Like, what does that mean? What does sequence 7 witch mean? Does that mean like he transitions to become a girl? Like, what happens? I'm so excited. I'm at like 220 Nightwalker. Oh, that's not that bad, Clown Man. Okay. Hope. I mean, I'll never be able to catch up to you just in terms of time, because at max I can read 5 chapters a day, and I can't average 30 days a month. There's just no shot that's happening. Although my plan is that by the end of April I should be at like 200, I think, because I should easily be able to stream for about 20 days, which is good, because especially after the 15th, exams are done, so I got time. So fuck them. Yeah, so that'll be good. By the way, I was planning on making a video. Let me know if you guys think I have enough info now to make like a coherent video, because I don't know. You guys let me know. I was thinking of making a video on what is a sequence, like really basic, not like a specific sequence pathway or whatever, just like the types of power that it grants, the utility that it has, how to become a Beyonder and all that stuff, the acting method and all that stuff in it. Let me know if I have enough info now to make, because like part of me, I really want to make content on it. I'm kind of stuck knowing so little at this point. So let me know if you guys think I have enough data now to do so, or if I have to Too early? Okay, definitely too early. Okay, no worries. Okay. All right, chapter 99, Red Chimney. Finish volume 1 at least. Oh, for the 5th time. Holy shit. Okay. Late in the afternoon, Klein returned home and drew the curtains, allowing his room to slip into darkness. He took out his pen and paper and thought for a moment, finally writing down a sentence. The kidnapping of Elliot was due to extraordinary elements. As a seer, Klein had to try to divine if those coincidences were consequences of unnatural development, but the results showed otherwise. This time he was influenced by Azik to look into these events again. He drew lessons from the suited clown. He seriously designed an appropriate divination statement, eliminating any descriptions that might be vague or cause confusion. Yes, I should break the 3 coincidences and divine them separately. Klein nodded in thought as he slowly removed the topaz from his wrist. He held the spirit pendulum in his left hand and allowed it to hang close to the divination statement on the paper. Klein collected himself and entered the state of cogitation. With his eyes closed, Klein started chanting repeatedly. The kidnapping of Elliot was due to extraordinary items. After repeating the statement over and over, Klein opened his eyes and looked at the pendulum, only to see the topaz turning counterclockwise slowly. It's still a negative, Klein muttered to himself. He designed several other divination statements, but the results persisted. There was nothing strange. He then separately divined the events of Ray Bieber's stay in Tenjin and Selena's magic mirror divination, but the answer for both events were normal. Was I, a real seer, frightened by the charlatan Mr. Azik? Besides, Captain and the others didn't feel that anything was off. Klein laughed and shook his head, but he remained cautious. He planned on using the dream divination technique to get a final confirmation. After some thought, he changed the divination statement to fit the method. The true reason for Elliot's kidnapping, as he scribbled with the fountain pen. Klein paused and pondered over his thoughts. Oh, that reminds me. At the end, if you guys are interested, Nightwalker really wanted me to go over the new manhwa that's come out. I will check that out at the end if you guys are interested. By the way, okay, yeah, that's fine. I want to finish it, but I normally can't. Wait, what are you guys talking about? For what? I read that some things about Ending Maker that can't go uncensored. Oh, you gotta read it. After I went to the web novel, I never went back to anime manhwa. My favorite baseball player just came from an illness. Oh, Jesus Christ. That sounds horrible, Devil. Who's your favorite player? Manhwa has really good art. Manhwa would be great. Yeah, that's fine. I'll check out like the 5 chapters. It doesn't it doesn't have to be too long, but just I can check it out. It sounds fun. Where the fuck was I? After reading it over and over, he tore the slip and walked towards his bed. He relaxed and laid down. With the divination statement in hand, Klein quickly fell asleep with the help of the cogitation. He found himself in a contorted, broken world. Regaining his senses, he began swimming through the blur. Gradually, he saw the few kidnappers. He saw them lose their facial chip at a gambling table. He saw them lose their final chip at the gambling table, saw them obtain guns from underground sources, and saw them survey the area. They even rented the apartment across Ray Bieber's apartment as their hideout. They didn't form a continuous scene, but instead they were presented in the form of flashing pictures. Klein couldn't find anything that was abnormal. Furthermore, it had also aligned with the statement given by the kidnappers. After exiting the dream, Klein separately divined the other two incidents but had the same result. Their developments followed logic. The coincidences were really coincidences. It was indeed overthinking small things. Mr. Azik is merely a divination enthusiast. Klein stabilized his pendulum and shook his head with a bitter smile. He was about to draw the curtains and allow sunlight into the room when he froze. Hold on. From the original Klein's impression of Mr. Azik, he is a dependable and trustworthy person. He had never once said anything baseless. Even if he were always quarreling with his mentor, it was limited to academic topics, and each of them had their reasons. He was truly a mere divination enthusiast. He wouldn't have interacted with me like that. And the memory of original Klein had nothing about him liking divination. Of course, this could be due to the loss of his corresponding memories. Klein frowned and couldn't ease his worries. He needed a way to confirm this. He suspected that Mr. Azik had unwittingly come across some insider information and was trying to remind him by using divination as an excuse. Whoa. Mookie Betts. Wait, hold on. Oh, yeah, you're right. He looks so skinny. Holy shit. Whoa. That's wild. Yes. How should I confirm this? Klein paced back and forth across his dark room, trying to recall the other divination techniques he knew. 1-step, 2-step, 3-step. He suddenly halted as an idea came to him. Let's assume that these coincidences are dubious. I'm unable to divine a result either because my sequence isn't high enough or because I'm affected by outside interference. But I can change my environment. I can change my environment to someplace that is even more mysterious and hard to understand. Ah, so he's going to try to do divination in the gray fog. Interesting. He concentrated and allowed his spirituality to flow out from the tip of the dagger. He becoming one with his surroundings. With each step, he took the wall of spirituality sealed off the entire room. Klein planned on doing the divination above the gray fog, to do the divination in that mysterious world. In the magnificent ancient divine hall above the endless gray fog, Klein sat at the seat of honor on one end of the bronze table. Before him was a piece of goat skin he willed into existence. That's such a cool sentence, he willed into existence. Holy shit. He lifted a pen and tried writing the divination statement as he had previously. The kidnapping of Elliot was due to extraordinary elements. He held the spirit pendulum and it hung low. Klein quickly composed himself and turned silent and ethereal. Half closing his eyes, he repeated this statement 7 times, using his spirituality to interact with the spiritual world that stood above all. Feeling the tug of the silver chain, Klein opened his eyes to look at the pendulum. The sight made him freeze immediately. The pendulum was spinning counterclockwise. Wait. Was due to extraordinary events. Counterclockwise means negative. That means it wasn't due to extraordinary events. Isn't that normal? Oh shit, it's clockwise. Never mind. I don't know why I read that as counterclockwise. I'm sorry. The pendulum was spinning clockwise. That meant that there was an extraordinary element behind Elliot's kidnapping. This was completely different from the result he had gotten in the outside world. There were no traces of an interference. Such power or means is terrifying. What is the motive of a person behind this? Is my fate intertwined with the indigenous family journal? Klein was immensely shocked. He lost his calm and the rotation of the pendulum slipped into chaos. He put down the topaz and rubbed his glabella. His expression was abnormally grave. After contemplating for a few seconds, he didn't attempt to divine the other 2 events. Instead, He wrote a new divination statement, the true reason for Elliot's kidnapping. I thought he couldn't answer stuff like that. I thought it was like yes or no. Good Lord. He held the paper in his hand and recited the statement 7 times. Klein leaned back and fell into a sleep above the fog. Soon, he found a boundless, illusory grey-white fog. The fog dissipated slowly, revealing a colorful grass plain filled with flowers. The space behind the flowers and the plains was folding onto itself like a monster that had come alive. Klein tried his best to look forward, barely making out the image of a dark red chimney. At this point, the scene before him had shattered, putting an end to his dream. Klein abruptly straightened his back in the majestic divine hall. His heart was beating wildly without reason. It felt like I had just spied on a terrifying being. Whoa. He took 2 steps in to stabilize his chaotic emotion. Tap, tap, tap. Oh, dream divination. I see. Yes, thanks, Romero. Klein tapped on the side of the table sometimes later and slipped into deep thought. Red chimney, garden, grass plains. How is this related to the person behind all this event? I cannot determine his motives from the coincidences, nor can I conclude there is any evil intent. In the midst of thinking, Klein felt alarmed for himself, Captain, Fry, and the others. We are like dancing puppets on a string. What's even scarier is that we thought so highly of ourselves. So I don't know how to raise this matter to Captain. Old Neil's divination produced the same results as mine. In the outside world, if they asked me to confirm it in front of them, I have no way of doing that. Klein rubbed his temples as he had a headache. After nearly 20 seconds of calm, he began divining the events of Ray Bieber's stay in Tingen. Similarly, he first used spirit dowsing. This time, Klein was shocked to see the topaz hanging motionless. It was neither a confirmation nor rejection. Strange. The person behind this has sensed my divination and engaged in countermeasures. Following this, he tried to use the dream divination, but all he saw were fragments of fog. He no longer made any new discoveries. The result of Selena's magic divination events were the same. Klein could almost confirm his conjecture at this point. He had no way of notifying the Captain Dunn for the time being. He had an unprecedented motivation to improve his abilities. Oh, all right, time to start getting ready for that Sequence 8 potion, buddy. Let's start finding it. Like I said, I think I already know roughly when he digests Sequence 9. I think it's 1:30-ish, give or take. So, soon. I must head to the Divination Club later and succeed in my acting to digest the Seer Potion. Also, I have to confirm whether the Clown Potion is indeed the subsequent sequence of Seer, as well as gather clues about it. In addition, I need to interact more with Mr. Azik to see if I can dig up whatever information he holds. Klein held his forehead with his right palm and quickly drew up a plan, and determined his focal point. After some thought, the goatskin appeared in front of him again. He picked up the pen and wrote, Sequence 8 of Sequence 9 Seer is Clown. From his prior experience, the present Klein is completely convinced that his divination abilities were augmented and enhanced above the grey fog. Okay, I apologize. Yes, Clown, I did go to the wiki. I mentioned this before. It was very briefly. I just had to. I made a video a couple of weeks back regarding LOTM when I first started reading it, and just to confirm some of the stuff I was saying in the video, because I don't want to just talk out of my ass. I searched up the wiki and it showed me that, so I remember seeing that. I mentioned, yeah. Hold on. Just like how the raids are usually successful, is this the result of having good luck? He muttered and picked up the spirit pendulum. Sometime later, he got a definitive answer. The corresponding Sequence 8 of Sequence 9 was Clown. He then wrote on the paper again. The corresponding Sequence 8, 7, 6, and 5 of Seer would grant at least one brand new unrelated power. Klein exhaled as he tried spirit dowsing again. However, the topaz hang motionless without any rotation. There isn't enough information to complete the divination and receive a revelation. He muttered to himself, then he set down the silver chain and began considering the required statement. Nearly 20 seconds later, he picked up his fountain pen and wrote seriously, "Clues to the clown potion." I don't know if that's gonna help, buddy. Interpreting symbols. I can understand why, clown. I was really careful to not read too much stuff that I shouldn't or whatever, but I get why. Yeah. Interpreting symbols, chapter 100. We made it to the triple digits. Let's go. Clues to the clown potion. On the seat of honor at the ancient bronze table, Klein repeated the divination statement a few times before leaning back and entering a deep sleep. His surrounding quickly became peaceful and quiet. He saw a hazy view with countless distorted and blurry scenes flashing past just like the drops of morning dew on the tender flower petals. Gradually, Klein grasped his spirituality and came to his senses. He saw a fireplace before him with a rocking chair and dressed in black and white. Although he couldn't see her face since she was hanging her head low, he had a gut feeling she was an old lady and was pretty certain about it. The old lady was facing a desk directly. There are newspaper and tin cans inlaid with silver on the desk. Klein found the scene before his eyes very familiar and quickly recognized what he saw. This is where Ray Bieber and his mother stayed. This is where he saw the bloated cadaver for the first time. There are clues that point to the clown potion here. Just as Klein's thoughts flashed past, the scene around him transformed. It was a grayish-white warehouse hidden among identical buildings, where they fought Ray Bieber, no? There were white bones scattered all around, and a few balls of flesh that looked like they'd been squeezed by a boulder. In the middle of the warehouse was a grayish-white object that was the size of a fist. Its surface was filled with ditches, but it looked soft and ductile. It looked soft but ductile. It looked like a brain that had been extracted out of a living being. As Klein recognized the scene and recalled something, the scene before him distorted like a rippling water before transforming into another blurry scene. A naked lady was laid on the long bronze table. Oh my, holy shit! I can't read anymore. Fuck. That's embarrassing. A naked lady was laid on a long table covered with a white cloth. There were some bluish, discolored patches on the corpse's skin. Klein suddenly knitted his eyebrows and muttered. It was the first image of Ray Bieber's hiding place and his remains. And now it's related to the brand on the suited clown's wrist. Just as he attempted to speculate what the scene meant, the scene suddenly changed again. A marble coffee table, a set of 2 leather couches, and a chandelier that hung high on the ceiling. There were 3 people. Klein Moretti, and a scholar. What the fuck is happening? Klein Moretti, a wealthy man, and a beautiful young lady. Following that, it was another 3 people with an object. A middle-aged man in a black robe who had thick, spiky brown hair, a wealthy gentleman with a chubby body and pale skin, a half-century old elder with messy eyebrows, thin brown hair, gray-blue eyes, and a black notebook around the table in between them all. A notebook that exuded the ancient air. An ancient and distant air, the indigenous family notebook. Okay, Ramiro, relax. That's exactly what happened. Klein suddenly sat straight up, and the dream vanished. So, the indigenous family notebook must have some clues then. But now it's being taken to the capital, so he can't access it. But we saw Madame Daly is also going, so maybe she can do him a favor. Who knows? You know. I was divining for clues for, no, let me think. The chubby guy was Welch, obviously, an unfortunate fellow who brought the indigenous family notebook and triggered a sequence of events. The beautiful young lady was Naya. I remember the marble coffee table and leather couch combination as a hallmark of the Welch's place. I saw Spirit Madame Daly there. In other words, what I saw in Welch's room, it was a scene where the original Klein and two classmates were discussing the notebook. Klein calmed himself and tapped on the edge of the long bronze table rhythmically. Good Lord. Then, what does the last scene represent? Sorry, I just read your message, Del, and that just made me chuckle. What does the last scene represent? The notebook appeared, Welch appeared. Could it be the scene where he bought the ancient item? There were another two people. One of them looked very familiar. I feel like I've seen a middle-aged man in classic black robes somewhere. The spiky brown hair, dark serene eyes, Hannes Vincent from the Divination Club. The Hannes Vincent who died peacefully after Captain snuck into his dream. Having learned that Selena secretly obtained the secret information from him. No way. Was he the one who sold the notebook to Welch? Oh shit. I don't know what that scene is, but I am excited. Everything appeared to be coming full circle. The world sure is small. No, Tingen is really small. On careful thought, it really is a possibility that Vincent wasn't an ordinary fortune teller. He was obviously deep into mysticism and obtained the attention of an evil god. He had the channel's ability and opportunity to acquire the notebook that was accidentally released by the secret order. It's no wonder the captain and company never figured out where Welch bought the notebook. Their investigative approach was entirely wrong. They had attempted to investigate via the antique market, but when the actual whereabouts of the notebook was found, they gave up on that lead. What a pity. Hannes Vincent just passed away not too long ago. Otherwise, we definitely could have found out something regarding the notebook. Since he was involved in mysticism, he should have researched the notebook. His death was way too coincidental. However, there was another person at the scene. A man in his 50s. He might know what happened too. Klein stopped tapping his fingers on the edge of the table and looked through every scene of his dream divination once more. Ray Bieber's house, his hideout spot, the remains of Ray Bieber, the brand on the clown's wrist, Welch's house, Naya, the original Klein exchange, Welch, Hannes, and the indigenous family notebooks group photo. Beside the brand on the suited clown, everything else is directly related to the indigenous family notebook. But I had divined for clues to the clown potion. This isn't scientific, nor does it make any mystical sense. Well, maybe the indigenous family notebook has like the recipe in it or something, and so everything is pointing to that to tell you to go get that so that you have your clues. After becoming a seer, Klein once tried to divine where Welch had bought the indigenous family notebook, but he never considered using the unique qualities that the area above the Grey Fog possessed. As such, he had failed to receive any revelation, but now he had chanced upon the truth by divining something separate. After spending nearly 20 seconds to calm down, Klein summarized the context provided by the Roselle's diary and attempted to interpret the dream divination. I love that you all just go that one and everyone goes, oh, yes, of course. The first possibility, Zaratul, or should I say the Secret Order, was searching and pursuing the relics of the indigenous families, so the symbolic meaning of the dream is to use matter related to the indigenous family to lure out the Secret Order into appearing so as to obtain the clown potion. Second possibility, the clown's potion's formula is directly recorded in the indigenous family notebook. Let's go! The fact that the Zaratul family is seeking the relics of the indigenous family implies they share very deep connections. They could have been allies or enemies. Hence, it seems fairly natural that the indigenous family possessed parts of their sequence. Things would be obvious if they were allies, but the enemies are the ones who would know each other best. Agreed. But the second explanation wouldn't be able to link it to the brand on the suited clown. Really? The clown is a member of the secret, or I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point. I do wish that the second explanation is true, though. When the Holy Cathedral finds an expert to interpret the book, I would be able to obtain the clown potion without any risks. It seems that the first explanation is most plausible. My gut feeling as a seer tells me that there might be a deeper symbolic meaning. Having thought of this, Klein massaged his forehead and suddenly realized the limitations of a seer. You know, I swear, if they took out the words Klein massaged his forehead, you could shrink this book by like, I don't know, like 500,000 words. Like, fuck me. Just wherever that sentence appears, you just take it out and like, just bang. Just made it like a third shorter. Unless it was very simple and straightforward sign, a seer had to be extremely careful when making interpretations. It was like walking on the edge of the abyss or walking on a thin layer of ice over a lake surface. The suited clown's outcome was an actual and bloody example of what a single mistaken interpretation or failure to grasp a key point could reel in. In that instant, Klein had an illusion of himself, mastering the true essence of a seer. He seemed to be just one step away from digesting the potion completely. Whoa. That's cool. So he's almost there. Yeah, which sort of lines in with him having it done by about 1:30. That kind of makes sense. In that instant, Klein had an illusion. Nope, thank you for enlightening me with your life. Praise the lady. He muttered and drew a crimson moon before his chest. Then he divined whether Azik had good intentions or if he was an amazing beyonder. He had confirmations for both. Wait, what? He had divined or if he had confirmations for both. Does that mean I got that right? Does that mean that, hold on. I don't know what when he says he, is he referring to Azik or himself? I'm going to say himself. But that's a dumb question to divine. Interesting. I'll wait for one of you to interpret that for me. Eventually, the continuous divination exhausted Klein. He had no choice but to stop churning through his thoughts and decide on the crucial matter that he needed to attend to. So wait, was I Azik? So wait, is Azik a beyonder? Did I get that right? Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I thought, Ramiro, but then I said, wait, so I was right, Azik is a beyonder? Well, yeah, I know it's a dumb question to ask, but, okay, hear me out. When I said, like, when you guys were showing me the art, and I said, like, based on this art, I feel like Azik, like, could be a beyonder, or, like, he could become a beyonder, you said, he's just making crackpot theories, so I thought I was just wrong. What the fuck, dude? Okay. We got one. Okay, we got one at least. Okay, I can put down even if I never get another notebook again. Even if I never get another confirmation rate again, we got one. We got one. He might be a beyonder. We don't know, but he just said he's an amazing beyonder. What the fuck? Yeah, yeah. Okay. Hold on. I can begin my search with the Divination Club. I can't just confirm Mr. Azik. Yes, he might be a mid-sequence beyonder, or of the school of life of thought, but there's a lack of information, making it impossible for me to divine. Klein let out a breath and conjured the portrait of a half-century-old elder with messy eyebrows, thin brown hair, and gray-blue eyes on the goatskin that appeared before him. Oh, fuck you, Romero, dog. That was the third person present with the indigenous family notebook was traded between Welch and Vincent. Looking at the portrait, Klein suddenly fell into a dilemma. I can't draw. I was the only one receiving the greatest criticism from teachers during art class in primary school. Should I use ritualistic magic like Old Neil? This was done by praying to the goddess. If I were to use the uniqueness of the area above the grey fog, I would be in trouble if the divinities noticed something. Yeah, I wouldn't. Hold on a second. Perhaps I can pray to myself. What the fuck? Wait, hold on. What? Oh, that was mean, Romero. That was actually mean, bro. Hold on a second. Perhaps I can pray to myself. Transmitting images and transmitting voices are similar. Although I'm temporarily unable to access the mysterious power above the grey fog, accomplishing such a minor matter shouldn't be a problem. Having thought of this, Klein immediately emanated his spirituality to envelop himself to stimulate this feeling of falling. Back in his bedroom, he hit the gas lamp and prayed. The fool that doesn't belong to this era, you are the mysterious ruler above the grey fog. You are the king of yellow and black who wields good luck. I pray for your revelation and pray that you allow me to draw what I have seen. After reciting, Klein didn't splash essential oils or burn any herbs to gain the power of gain the help of their powers. It was just that informal when praying to oneself. There were sudden murmurs in his ear when he saw the 4 black dots that formed a square surface on the back of his hand. He walked 4 steps counterclockwise and recited the incantation before penetrating the maniacal chaos to return to the area above the grey fog. This time, he didn't see any crimson stars, any of the crimson stars shrinking or expanding, but behind the seat of honor was off the long bronze table, the strange symbol formed a partial pupilless eye, and partial contorted lines shimmered weakly as it produced illusory prayers. Klein held his ear to it and listened. And making sure there were no mistakes, he conjured the portrait of the third person and cast it towards the flowing light in accordance to the prayer's format. Interesting. So he came... Okay, so he sent himself the prayer, went there, and went, oh, that seems like a nice prayer, accepted it, and sent it back to himself. That's cool. After everything was done, he immediately left the mysterious world and returned to his bedroom. Just as he found his footing, a portrait surfaced immediately in front of Klein's eyes. Furthermore, he sensed a weak and illusory power augmenting him. He picked up a fountain pen and found a piece of white paper and expressed his intent. Klein was surprised to find his right hand moving uncontrollably as it quickly drew lines. Before long, he had a lifelike portrait of the third person. After writing down the hair and eye color, as well as any other unique characteristics, Klein heaved a sigh of relief. Despite the spasms of his right hand, the illusion before his eyes rapidly dissipated. That is an actual superpower. What the fuck? He can pray to himself, ensuring that his prayers always get answered, and then give himself whatever he needs to. That's so base. Obviously, I know he can't, like, give himself more power or whatever. I'm sure that his powers are limited relatively to, like, the divine, but that's so based. What the fuck? Interesting. Oh yes, let us. Okay, that was a good chapter. Interesting. Nothing too exciting happened. Well, no, that's not true. I wouldn't go that far. Okay. Does anyone have the link to the manhwa? I don't know where to find it. Lord of the Mysteries. I'm shackled by power. 65 chapters? That's not the right one, I presume? Interesting. No, 5 years. No, that can't be it. Is it this one? Remake, maybe? Chapter 5, 13 days ago. Yes, I think this might be it. Okay. Crimson. Ooh. Oh, yeah, I guess I should. That's a good point. Fuck, wait. Huh. Do. Huh. Great question. How would I go about doing that? Okay, give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm just gonna do that. Oh, sounds good. I will use the one that Ramiro sent in a second. Once I get the blur effect, so you get the blur effect on. Oh, trust me, I know like how much shorter the mana is gonna be. I know. Mm. All right, I think that should be a-okay. All this effort. Hold on. All right, let me pull up the site that Ramiro sent really quickly. Do. There's a chapter 0. Interesting. We'll start off with that one. Sure. Load all pages, bro. What the fuck are we doing here? His Monware project has returned. More faithful and adequate adaptation. Ways to participate. Read Volume 1 when it is released. Write down your feedback. Send them there. For those. That is... There's a circus performance. Would you like to try Dream Divination? That looks cool. Load all pages. So painful. Klein has really a talent for reading and even accepted into Koi University. Right, it's worth it for Big Brother to take on a debt to buy a kerosene lamp so you can revise even at night. My head is killing me. Melissa has a natural talent for machinery. In the future, she can attend Tingen Technical School. What are these scenes? Am I dreaming? It's too painful. Cerebral hemorrhage. I'm not gonna die like this. The Crimson Moon. My god, that visual just reminds me so much of Bloodborne. Holy shit. That's crazy. It does look... Wow, that looks so good. Holy shit, that panel is beautiful. I am watching the colored one. I just have it blurred for you guys. Yeah. If you're interested, Nighthawk, if you want to follow along, Ramiro sent the link in the Discord. I can also toss it in the chat if you guys are interested. Where is this? This is the filter. Yeah, exactly. It's just the filter, so I don't get copyright struck into fucking the mirror dimension. Could I have transmigrated? The wound on my temple is healing quickly. I will say, I read one chapter of the other manhwa, and I thought that art, I preferred this style of that art more. Again, I can't speak to whether it was like done faithfully or whatever, but Klein Moretti, citizen of the Northern Continent, Lone Kingdom. Awa County, city of Tingen, also a recent grad of the Department of History at Koi University. His father was a sergeant in the Imperial Army who died in the colonial conflict in the Southern Continent. The compensation money allowed Klein to attend a private grammar school, laying the foundation for his university admission. His mother was a devotee of the Evernight goddess. She passed away the year that Klein passed the entrance exams. He has an elder brother and a younger sister. They live in a 2-bedroom apartment. Currently, the family is being supported solely by the elder brother, who works as a clerk at an import and export company. As a history graduate, Klein had learned ancient Fasak, considered the source of all languages in the northern continent, and Hermes, that's often found in ancient mausoleums and related to rituals and prayers. The Hermes language. Everyone will die, including me. Lord of the Mysteries. Good Lord, that is beautiful. The wound is healing very quickly. These are the restorative effects that transmigration brings. I should clean up the wound, the blood stains. If not, when my sister Melissa wakes up early in the morning and sees, it would be quite problematic. Releasing a round with a revolver pointed at the temple. Suicide. Or a faked suicide. Da da da. Wait, hold on. I just realized there's no music. It was bothering the shit out of me for a second. What the fuck? why. Sorry, guys. Okay. One last thing. Boop. And there. Okay. Where did the gun come from? What kind of trouble would a history graduate of humble origins get himself into? Why would such a suicide method only leave behind so little blood? Was it because I transmigrated in a timely manner and it came with healing benefits? The ancient studio made a whole Hermes language? Holy shit, that is so based. There's not much difference between this period of time and the past for me. Maybe I was a bit unlucky, but why would I end up transmigrating for no reason? Bad luck, right? I did the luck enhancement ritual today. There's a chance I can transmigrate back. What? That is beautiful art. Holy shit, that is beautiful. Time has long passed to enter that, so I'll just do all 5 chapters if it's good with you guys today. I'll try the luck enhancement again tomorrow. Even if it's hopeless, I won't know unless I try. If I can't return in 2 days, I'll have an interview with Tingen University's history department. And CF himself oversees the pacing and animation. Oh, really? Oh, okay, that's good. So hopefully they won't just absolutely fucking bum rush it. Praise God de Helis. Praise the fool. The memories I currently have, they're not only fragmented, but they're also missing pieces. I definitely won't be able to pass the interview if I end up staying, and considering we're barely making ends meet with my brother's salary alone. Like that alone, we're 1 chapter in and it already feels so incomplete compared to the web novel, because in the web novel, the time between when he initially transmigrates and he has this conversation of like, oh, I might need to do this interview, is like, it feels so much longer. It feels like he's had time to like flesh out his thoughts and sort of consider stuff. Whereas here it's like, transmigrated, I really want to go back. I'll try the ritual tomorrow. Oh, I need to go to the interview. And it's like, bro, that's so quick. You come to another world and you don't consider like, holy shit, like where am I? What's happening? No, it's just like, oh, I got shot. I transmigrated. I want to go home. Oh, I got an interview in 2 days. Like, holy shit, that feels wild. The owner of this body, Klein, would use all his strength to stay up and study with the aristocratic students around him with better learning environments. Oh, Melissa's awake. The gun. What happened? How sweet. Is that how it feels to have a younger sister? Looks like Dad's watch is broken again. See, like that alone. Melissa just started working on it. It was like a really cool scene where Melissa walks in. She's like, ugh, give it to me. Like, you're hopeless with stuff. I'll do it. And then that's when we get the fucking mention that, like, she's, I think that's the first time it was mentioned that she's in the technical school and, like, all that stuff. And she's really good with machinery and stuff. Like, come on. Even without a silencer, Melissa, who was a wall away, didn't notice at all. Was she sleeping too soundly, or is Clown's suicide shrouded in mystery to begin with? All fixed. Is that an expression of love or concern for her intellectually disabled brother? Okay, at least they kept that in. That's cool. Klein, I'll be leaving now. Alright, be careful out there, Melissa. Right. Take out all the remaining bread. Be sure you buy fresh ones today. Mutton and peas too. Your interview is soon. I'll make you mutton stew with peas. Got it. Remember to buy fresh bread, only 8 pounds of it. The weather is so hot, so the bread will spoil quickly. Also, buy the mutton and peas. Don't forget. Klein, don't buy too much mutton or peas. Benson will be coming Monday. Remember, only 8 pounds of bread. Did she repeat this in the I can't remember if it did. Romero, it might have. I can't remember. Yeah, username. We're just they wanted me to check out the manhwa, so we just. Oh, wait. When you say we didn't translate it, were you helping with the translation username? I got it. At such a young age, she's so frugal and takes care of her brother like a little mother. Sorry, but I really wish to go home. So this is how the street markets are in the world's low-income communities. That looks nice. Now that I think about it, this does look a lot more in line to what the anime looks like than what the than the first manhwa that I was reading. That looks a lot. This looks a lot closer, so I can see why you guys prefer this a lot more. Mr. Smyron, 8 pounds. Mrs. Smyron, 8 pounds of rye bread, please. Alrighty, dear Klein. Where's Benson? Is he not back? Well, all is good now. You're already graduated, a co-university graduate. You'll be able to earn money soon. It's not too nice staying in that apartment of yours. You should at least have a bathroom to call your own. Miss Myron, you seem to be a young and energetic woman today. I've always been this young. 9 pence. 9? Wasn't it 11 2 days ago? Last month it was even 15. You have to thank the people who protested on the street for the repeal of the Grain Act. Yeah, I think this said this was like two or 3 months old, so I think it's the old one. Username, I don't know. I'm at your guys' mercy here, but the core tenet of the Grain Act is to protect the prices of domestic agricultural product. Before the prices rose to a certain level, grain imports from the southern continent like Fanepotter, Mason, Lenberg were stopped. Why would people protest against the act? Oh, go to the circus, bro. Go to the circus. Get your fortune told by. Wait, who tells? Wasn't it like the animal keeper or some shit that tells the fortune teller for him, or that tells the fortune for him? Melissa will definitely like it. However, how much is the entrance fee? Dear customer, would you like to try a divination? Yeah, this final art is beautiful, dude. Holy shit. Yeah, it's too late. Thank you for reading. Translator. Username. My boy. Let's go. So, username, I presume that means you can speak Mandarin then? Or, like, read it, I suppose? Beast Tamer. Beast Tamer, I see. Yes, thank you. Wow, it is really well done, I will say. Like, if it wasn't for the anime coming out, I think a lot of people would have used this as a jumping off point, because obviously there's like a huge amount of people who'd be interested in reading it but just don't do web novels. Everybody's Beast Tamer. Does this customer want a divination? I'm learning, but I'm mostly doing the proofreadings for this. I see. Okay. No need. My tarot divination is very accurate, as someone who's never fucking done one before. Tarot? Her pronunciation was almost identical to tarot cards on Earth. Tarot cards were invented 170 years ago by Roselle Gustav, the Intest Republic's consul of that era. This Roselle invented the steam engine, improved sailboats, overthrew the Intes Republic, was recognized by the god of craftsmanship. He then became the first consul of the Intes Republic. Later, he invaded other nations and placed Lemberg and other under his protection. He made the Lowen Kingdom, Feinapotter, Faesak Empire, and the other powerful northern continent nations bow down to the Intes Republic. It was during Roselle's first. It was during Roselle's rule that the first Church of Craftsmanship received its first revelation in the Fifth Epoch. Ever since then, God of Craftsmanship was changed to God of Steam and Machinery. He also sent out marine fleets that discovered a route leading to the Southern Empire amidst the stormy and turbulent seas, marking the start of the colonialism era. Yep, that Emperor Roselle. That is so well done. Holy shit, hold on. That is so well done. Oh my god. Unfortunately, he was betrayed in his old age. In the year 1198 of the Fifth Epoch, he was assassinated by the combined forces of the Church of Eternal Blazing Sun, consisting of the former Intes royal family, the Sauron family, and other aristocrats. He eventually died in the White Maple Palace. Could this be a transmigration senior? Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. If the price is reasonable, I'll give it a try. You are the first customer of today. It's on the house. He's like, free things cost the most. Yeah. Man, that is done so well. Holy shit, dude. Yes, Sauron. I don't think I realized that during my first read through, but I did realize it now. Username. I've never actually, I think it's Lord of the Rings. I've never seen it or read them, but that name is popular enough that I do know it. If you are really that capable, try divining that I transmigrated here. Have a seat. Could Roselle really have been a senior? Shuffle the cards and then cut the deck. I shuffle. Of course. Everyone's destiny can only be unraveled by themselves. I only serve to read. This reading does not require any additional fees, right? I've already seen too many such tricks as a keyboard warrior. I have not seen Lord of the Rings, no. It's free. Done. Sorry, I forgot to ask, but what would you like to divine? Past, present, and future. Just watch the movie. It's like how many fucking movies are there? It's so many. Fuck. And then it's this fucking eternal battle of like, oh, you read the book? Oh, you watched the movies? Oh, well, actually, the books are better. Like, kill yourself. Fuck me, dude. Just doing this forever. Fuck, how long have I... okay. Then please, reshuffle the deck only after knowing what you would like to ask about. Can you truly get the cards you want? Were you fooling me just now? Do you have to be this petty? Haven't I only been asking if it was a free service? That's a cool scene. That shuffling of the cards, that's really cool. There won't be any problems this time, right? None. Okay, username, I promise after only. Yes, I see that. After my exams, I will consider watching them, okay? In fairness, I can't exactly tell them, oh, only 11 hours after I've spent fucking, I don't know, 15 hours on stream reading this, and I'm like 4% of the way through. Like, can't exactly tell them like, oh, 11's too much. This card symbolizes your past. This one, your present. And this one, your future. Which card would you like to see first? Which card would you like to see first? Present, then. The Fool. Wow. Man, holy shit, that's done so well. Fuck, man. Might be a hot take, but I think the movies are good for their time, but average. I saw them recently. I'll make sure to check back. Oh, not a few months. I'll have it done in. My exams end on the 15th of April, so let's say like give me a week after that. I don't know, like 3 weeks, give or take. Man, it's so quick to go through manhwas. Holy shit. Like, even though I'm reading this for you guys and going like a lot slower than I normally would, 3 chapters, like I'm probably in what, like 15 chapters of the novel at this point, probably. Fuck, dude. And it's been like maybe 20 minutes. Fucking wild. It's so much faster. Of course, less detailed also. I don't mean to say like faster is better. I get that it's not nearly as detailed, but shit, man. The Fool, the first card of the tarot, a start, a fresh beginning with all kinds of possibilities. Why are you impersonating me again? It's my job to handle divinations for customers. Don't let me catch you again. Don't mind it, I just enjoy doing this. But I have to say, my divination and interpretation can really be accurate sometimes. Wait, through the games? Are there Lord of the Ring games? Sir, do you need my interpretation of the cards? Is it free? No. Then forget it. Okay, this part, I've thought the novel, this is obviously not the manhwa's fault, but I really thought the novel should have, like, she should have said yes. Like, bro, he's already here. He was lied to by another of your members. Like, I feel like they should fucking say yes here and do it for free. Most details in starting chapters are description of the surroundings. Lord of the Mysteries game. Yeah. Yes, I do know there's Lord of the Mysteries game coming. I don't know if they ever do we have a release date on that? It's on, oh wait. No, I don't know. Oh, fuck off. It's open for pre-registration. Have not been announced. Shit. Okay. Man, it's gonna be so cool whenever that does. No, forget it. There's really not enough money for spending. Poor Benson. With the staple food, I can try performing the luck enhancement ritual again. Wow. The immortal Lord of Heaven and Earth for blessing. The Sky Lord of Heaven and Earth for blessing. The exalted Threech of Heaven and Earth for blessing. The Celestials worthy of Heaven and Earth for blessing. Will there be any effect? Could there be some unexpected situation? What's that sound? Sounds like many people chanting scriptures in agony. What the actual fuck? Jeez. My god, they really do. No, you know what? I'm starting to realize why this is so much better. Shit. Yeah, this, like, that panel of Klein's room is amazing. Like, that's, like, I don't know whose idea this was to do a top-down view, but fuck, that is so clever. Holy shit. It does, like, a couple of things. One, it gives you, like, a perfect, well, yes, the breads, of course. It gives you, like, one, an understanding of really how small this living space they're living in. Like, that's fucking tiny, dude. And secondly, it also gives you, like, this perfect understanding of their living situation. It's like, it's done so well. Who's ever did that? It was so good. I get why you'd be suspicious that it'd run on the phone, but it probably will. In the same way that, like, I think Wuthering Waves can also be on your phone, and like all these games, and it's like technically you can play it on your phone, but man, you're gonna have a bitch of a time doing it. So it's there, and it's generally for like people, and it's generally for like, okay, I know you guys are gonna hate me for this, but like solo leveling Arise. I normally play it on here because it's just so much better, but like if I'm away from home or I can't access it, I can log in, get the daily requirements, do the daily quests or whatever, and then go about my day, as opposed to being like, oh fuck, I'm gonna miss it. I have set pics we have for the game. It's on the pics, it's the pics on the real game. Alright, I'll check that out at the end of this chapter, Romero. Sounds like people are chanting scriptures in agony. What are they saying? I really want to hear. Oh, my head's so painful. I can't resist. I can't open my eyes. I won't die as long as I don't court death. It's become quiet. What is the situation in this endless gray fog? Aside from the fog, only crimson stars. What can I do to get out of this place? Maybe the crimson stars? Another. They're starting to burst. Holy shit, dude. This is done so well. These are so beautiful. Oh my god. My head feels... Oh, that is beautiful. New content releases every Saturday. I have a feeling that's a fucking lie, mate. No, sorry, I'm not going to read comments. Someone's got to spoil the shit out of it for me. Okay, actually, you know what? I will read it. I will check out the photos at the end of chapter 5. Let me just finish it, Romero, and then I'll check them out once it's done. Kingdom of Lowen, capital Blackland, Empress Borough. Oh, we get to see Audrey and Alger. I see. Mirror, mirror, wake up soon. Best girl Susie, let's go. In the name of the Hall family, I order you to wake up. What? Did my dad lie to me? He told me this mirror was a treasure of the Black Emperor of the Solomon Empire, and it was a mystical item. Wow. Dude, that like emerald green necklace with the earrings with the dress, that is such cool attention to detail, man. I'm so glad. There's no new chapters today as well. They're sticking with the release date schedule. Oh, really? Okay, that's cool. That's good to know. The Sonia C. Alger Wilson. Huh? Like emerald green eyes, emerald green earrings, emerald green necklace, emerald green, like holy shit, dude. That is beautiful. Alger. I was sucked in by the green light over there. There's a figure over there. Your Excellency. Sir, where are we? Who are you? What are you up to? What is this place? Wait. Like, that's really cool, but like, that is such a cool panel. What the fuck? Like, don't get me wrong, this is nice too. Like, holding the, things to grasp them, so like it gives them some understanding of like, hey, he's in control here. But holy shit, that is so cool. Man, that was wild. Nope, fuck. Oh, that was really, really good. I can see why Nightwalker wanted me to check it out, man. Fuck, that was so cool. Wow, that was awesome. To artwork. No way, dude. If they can deliver, like, fuck. If they can deliver even like 80% of this shit'll sell like, I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be free or if it's gonna charge. I don't really, if it's a mobile game, I guess it'll probably be free and be like a Wuthering Waves type of gacha game if I had to guess. But fuck, man, holy shit. If they can deliver even 80% of this, they will rake in the money like no tomorrow. What the fuck? Why does this look so good? What? Yeah, I know that's in-game picks, but I've heard that before and been disappointed before. Man, if they can deliver this, holy shit. Oh my god. That's beautiful. What the yeah, exactly. They cranked up the graphics to fucking 400. Which probably, depending on what kind of computer you have, will tank the shit out of your FPS if you try to actually do this. But man, if it looks even like 70% of this in like medium settings, oh my god, that's so beautiful. That is so good, man. What the fuck? That was awesome. Yeah, if they can even do like 60-70% of that, this shit's gonna rake in the money. Yeah, exactly. You like, if you say the name of the game near your phone just fucking kills itself. It's like I can't even. Yeah. Yeah, it'll probably run on mobile, but it'll probably just look like dog shit in comparison because your phone's just gonna have to simplify it so heavily. Man, that is fucking dope. That looks so cool. Yeah, all right. That was a great stream, guys. I think we got through everything I wanted to today. Good. I think. Let me know how does the camera look. If there's like adjustments. Obviously, I'm gonna tweak it around a little bit. I have new curtains coming because of the curtains in the background. When there's the sun pouring in, it just looks fucked because it looks so dark in comparison. So I'm working on that stuff. But yeah. Once again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining. That was a great stream. We got through a lot. We are officially in the triple digits for chapters, which is a great milestone to hit. At this rate, I'm gonna be where easy is in not too long, I think. Yeah. And then, oh, by the way, whenever, can one of you, before you guys go, let me know if, like, if you're getting the stream in 1080p, can you get it in 1440? What's that looking like? I'm curious. The face cam improves the viewing experience by a lot. Well, that's good. That was the intention. I'm still super awkward on camera, as I'm sure you can tell, but that's a separate issue altogether. I'm sure we'll slowly get over that too. But yeah. Once again, thank you everyone so much for joining, and I'll catch y'all a little bit later. It's in 1440. Perfect. Okay, thanks, Light. Okay, good to know, because I was apparently streaming in 720 up until yesterday, which is fucking nuts to me. But like, yeah, that's wild. 1080 goes up to 4. Okay, perfect. Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow. All right, that's it. Wait, sorry, did you 1080? Interesting. Yeah. All right, that's it. I'll catch y'all later. See you guys.